Hello, this is Stephen Childs, creator of the World Fairness Agreement, 4 pages that will save the world. Really, it's that simple. You'll see when you start looking into this, to the document, and how it affects others and yourself. So you could read it once a week or once a day, or reread it, or read it for the first time, share it with other people, get groups and talk about it. Team Fairness, the Church of Fairness can meet together. The website, teamfairness.com, has an outline of how to do it, or a suggestion on how to do it. The document is there that you can link to, that's physically on the wayoffairness.com blog website. The title is The World Fairness Agreement. Search for that. Okay, so now I want to talk about one of the issues that humans disagree on, and we actually use God. I'm going to be talking about God. We use God as the basis for doing others wrong, because we come from tribal groups that we had tribal warfare going on, and so we developed gods of war to encourage and protect us in the wars. Some people are atheists. They claim they don't have a belief of any God. They think that reality happened without God creating it. Okay, maybe that's possible, maybe that's impossible. People that believe in God think that's rather an impossible idea, that you could have reality such as we experience without a God to create it. So their evidence of God is that we're here. So of course there's a God. And maybe that's correct logic. I don't know. I'm going to stay neutral and not have an opinion on that. In fact, all of the things that I'm going to talk about, I don't really have an opinion on. They're just ideas that can be used. It's not something that you have to believe. It's just ideas to consider. So there's a truth, and I have faith that truth can't be changed by anyone, for whatever that's worth. I'm going to say that truth is God. God is truth. And so we wouldn't be here without truth being here. Something that's false can be shown to be false and it goes away. People don't believe what's false anymore. They believe what's true because they're convinced that it's true. So we become convinced of what we believe, and so I want to talk now about this God that is necessary to exist because it's the cause of reality. It's the creator of everything. And I'm going to say that there's just one God that creates all that is. So it would create all the other gods also. Okay, so where did God come from? What created God? Well, I'm going to suggest that God created God. What if all that is one thing, and it's God? So God is not somewhere else creating creation. God is the creation itself, and it created itself. God created God, and God is creation. So that means that we don't exist. It's God that exists. But we get to be our individual selves, but it's quite an illusion that we're separate individuals, because actually God is what we are. God is who we are. And there's only one. So I remember hearing Alan Watts say that God is just playing like he's all of us, and he's playing like he doesn't know it. So he was teaching this idea in a way so that people might be able to get a point of view that benefits them or that they enjoy learning about. I was of the belief at one time that there's no God and there are benevolent extraterrestrials helping us that explain what the angels are, and then there are also aliens that are trying to control and own planet Earth, demons. So there was a correlation with Bible and other religious ideas. Humans are in a state of war, always. We're defending ourselves from other groups that are at war. So we're always at war or ready to go to war to defend ourselves. So the alien life forms, the ones that claim they rule Earth, that's what they're doing. They're territorialists and they're claiming Earth. And they want all the humans to be under their control. So what if there's an alien group that they did not know about that is helping me to bring about a solution to this problem of separate groups at war with each other? This is why I wrote the World Fairness Agreement. And the beings that are in communication with me, that are, I claim they're not human, they're extraterrestrial. So they're telling me, the aliens that have control of the Earth, they're telling me that I'm the only human that can hear them telepathically. Why is that? Well, the group above them enables me to hear them. They're like showing up in the reality of the aliens that control planet Earth. So this is rather like the Gnostic mythology, where the archons were the world rulers, but there's a God above them, a loving God above them, that has more power. Obviously, it has to have more power. So this is about power. Who's got the most power? Who's going to win? It's about fighting it out and who's going to win. So if God is creation, so God is all of these separate groups fighting each other. But they think God's something else, or they think there is no God, and they just want to rule everything so that they have all they want from greed. And there's no God to punish them for it. So there's all these different scenarios that are taking place. The ones that are human scenarios, we know they're real because we can see them with our own eyes. But there's other scenarios of extraterrestrials interacting with humans. And this is like AI. Now we have AI that can interact with humans. So that's like the aliens that they have no heart, they just want to rule us. They're just programmed to rule us. Any being that would relate with what I'm saying would understand these words. So, the World Fairness Agreement is based on this idea that we agree to not do others wrong. Because it's when we do others wrong that we end up in a war. When we do a different group wrong, they're defending themselves and their right to exist, and we end up in a war over it, or a conflict. You can see it on human level, one human to another. So, humans form with a bigger group, more powerful group, to stop the group that's doing them wrong from doing them wrong. So, Team Fairness, and it's also called the Church of Fairness, is the biggest group. The one with the most power, and I'm going to tell you why. This is opinion. This is ideas that might be true. I'm not attached to these ideas. I don't have to fight for these ideas at all. The idea, this concept that God is the self-created creation, it has all power. So God has all power, but it's not someone separate from us. It is us. Our individual ego selves are just irrelevant to the all-powerful God. Now, who is it that loves us? What if God does not have a mind of its own? God is our mind. God is our love. That's who. We love us. So God loves us, because God is us. So we have a consciousness. We have a sense of self. I am. We have this knowledge that I am. I exist. Therefore, God is and God exists because we do. So, if the idea that we evolved from unconsciousness and consciousness emerged through biological evolution in a self-created God, self-created creation, then suddenly God is conscious, unaware of God. How fun. So suddenly God has love and knowledge and curiosity and empathy, compassion, because God is us. God is what is. There isn't anything that's not God. And God is self-created. God does not depend on anything anywhere. There is not anything with more power than God, because God is all-powerful. So God is just as much me as God is you. So God also has a sense of what's fair, because we do. God knows about doing others wrong, because we know about doing others wrong. So God knows that no one has the right to do someone else wrong, because it's wrong. We have right and wrong, see? We're talking about right and wrong. It's wrong to do others wrong, and it's right to not do them wrong. So what is not fair is something that we can determine with truth. And God, this is truth. God is actually real. God is truth. So there's a fact to this. It's factual. So when somebody says this is not fair, they might think it's not fair that I'm even saying this, that I'm teaching this. Because they believe God is someone else that loves them very much, and it will protect them from me and these ideas that I have. And God gives them things, and they can have whatever they want because God gives them whatever they want. So they have a concept of God that's not fair to me, because their God doesn't like me because I won't surrender to it. Their God wants me dead. Their God's at war with me, and I'm at war with their God. I was told to declare war by these higher beings, that the ones that dominate the earth, they didn't know that the ones I serve existed. They can't be detected. They are so advanced that they are God that is self-created. They're so aware that God is them, and that they have all power because God has all power. They don't have any conflicts. They don't have any opposition. God, there isn't anything that opposes God. It's not possible to oppose God. So, I think it's fun to have a God rather than to be atheist. So to some people I'm an atheist because I don't believe there's a God somewhere else, out there somewhere. But to like the Sikh religion, this is their same concept. I learned it from them. I learned it from non-dual Hindu beliefs like Kashmir Shivism and Buddhism. There's many religious beliefs that are non-dual. This is a non-dual belief. There's not gods and then us as two. There's only one. There's only one God, and it's everything. It's you and it's me equally. So, how did these ancient humans know this? They were told it by God. Told them. God, as advanced extraterrestrials that are so advanced that we didn't even know they're here. We just thought they're God. So we pray to them as God, and in various religions. And so we wasn't really understanding what God really is, that God is self-created, and that God is all of us. So, there's another place where I learned about this. And I think this is just extremely exciting. There's the idea that we're going to be saved from disaster, from the fact that science is telling us the same thing now, that everything is one thing and it's what we are, and our individual perspective ego selves is an illusion. The materialists say that we don't exist. So they are so close to totally agreeing that they can call it God now. So they're materialists, physicalists, but they believe God is the one that exists. And because of non-locality and quantum entanglement, if I have love, God has love. So this conflict between atheism and believers, and theists and polytheists and all the Satanists. See, Satan is the same thing. You can call it Satan, is that which exists and is invincible and doesn't harm anyone. It is everyone. So I'm a Satanist instead of an atheist. And Satan freed me from the powers that were trying to dominate me. Or call it God. Doesn't matter what word you use. Our beliefs of what it is were wrong. Every one of us have been wrong about things. So we thought something was true, and we realized, oh, I was believing something that wasn't even true. And I was having trouble with others because I believed that I was right and that they were wrong. All of us have had that experience. So we also we know that we can join the group that has more power, and the other groups can't defeat us. If we're in the group that has the most power, we can't be defeated. Well, like I've already explained, all the power is God. God is all the power. And it's not someone else. It's not that there's only one God. It's that there is only God. And I'm tingling with energy and love, hope. I actually cry about the wars that are going on the planet. So this idea that I'm sharing with you gives me hope that these wars will end. Thank you.